As soon as I played the latest Deltarune chapters and reached the Lightners live segment, I knew what my next project would be. The rock band style minigame is silly and charming, and I absolutely adore the main trio's rockstar outfits. Just look at how cute Ralsei is in his little mohawk. I figured that translating tiny 2D sprites into fully 3-dimensional figures and putting them on a proper stage would be fun and challenging. What I didn't expect is just how long it would take. So here I am, 3 months later. Better late than never, right? In a desperate attempt to keep the figures roughly to scale, I made all 3 skeletons at the same time. Once the poses are locked in, Ralsei is first on the chopping block. I give him a big pair of fluffy feet and pose his fingers to hold a microphone. For the head, I take a ball of clay and cut a mouth into it. I add a tongue and eye holes before blending it into the neck with a little isopropyl. He's definitely looking a lot more recognizable with his big floppy ears and little fangs. The mohawk starts as a little clay rectangle that I shape and texture before sticking it and a pair of horns to his head. The other hand is attached, and I give it a heart-shaped paw pad because if any character is gonna have heart-shaped beans, it's gonna be him. As I'm working on the pants, I realize that I really don't like how I did his legs. Nothing a quick amputation can't fix. This new pair is looking way better. I brush the pants with rubbing alcohol to smooth them and remove fingerprints. My first attempt at eyes came out just a little too angry, and I ended up remaking them. I wrap a strip of clay around his waist for a belt, complete with metal buckle and belt loops. To make his jacket, I drape a thin sheet of clay over his back and gently shape it with a thin tool. The last details he needs are a pair of wristbands and a choker with a comically large skull attached to it. Next up is Susie, and I start by bulking out her frame. She's by far the largest and physically strongest member of the team, so a little shrimpy skeleton simply will not do. I make her head by jamming a ball of clay onto a bowl stylus, and poking in some eye and nose holes. Once I'm satisfied with the mouth's shape, I mark out where the teeth will go. After a quick round of crocodile dentist, the head gets attached to the body. Next is a pair of placeholder boots, and a pair of big strong hands. I make her a simple undershirt and choker, and give the pants a baggy texture. She's gonna need a seat, so I throw together a small 4-legged stool. For the jacket, I blend the back and front pieces together and give them a worn, frayed look. I turn her belt buckle into a skull and wrap strips of clay around her hands to make a set of fingerless leather gloves. The hair ended up being a multi-stage process to get it thick and textured enough, but I got there in the end. She's gonna need some better boots, so I thicken the soles and add metal clasps to the sides. With that, I can put her to the side and start working on Kris. To make sure I get their pose right, I start with their guitar. I cut the clay body directly on my baking tray to keep it flat. The neck is made from a chunk of popsicle stick, and I carve out a set of frets. My first Kris body was really bad, so I remade the whole thing. Their outfit starts with a pair of fitted pants and a plain undershirt. The head took me way too long to figure out, but I got there in the end. I know they currently look like a newborn grandfather, but just trust the process on this one. Kris gets a pair of stylish heels, and once the head is attached, I start layering on their hair. This piece of foil will prevent the fringe from sticking to their face. I'm sure any artist can tell you just how annoying hands are to make, and this was my first time ever attempting human ones, so I'm pretty jazzed with how they turned out. To add some visual flair, I give their boots little folded rims. For the coat, my aim is to make it just a little too big for Kris, kinda like when you're getting ready for a school play and none of the outfits fit you properly. The collar and front were a little tricky, but I think they came out pretty good. I make them an arm cuff, and that's the trio finished, which means they need a stage to play on. I tape down a bunch of bamboo skewers and zigzag a line of sticks between each pair. These get joined together to form scaffolding. With everything assembled, I test fit the structure around my stage. It's a little wonky, but it's good enough. I make a set of speakers out of foam blocks and metal wire, and use the offcuts to give the stage a little height. The drums start as foam cylinders sandwiched between clay discs. I wrap a slice of cardboard around the core and secure it with a layer of shiny tape. The mounting arm and stands are made of scaffolding offcuts. 2 more clay discs become a set of cymbals by having little lumps of clay smoothed into the tops. For the big neon sign in the back, I use a thick piece of cardboard and paint it dark purple. The edges get a coat of lighter purple. I secure the letters to another piece of cardboard to keep them steady, and give them a couple coats of white, before carefully painting the centers with a neon pink and the outsides with a highlighter yellow. And here's a fun little detail. I used UV reactive paint, so the sign glows under blacklight. I found out the hard way that the new primer I got isn't safe for foam, and the speakers melted a little, so I remade the control panels using leftover bits of cardboard from the sign. Ralsei's mic gets a coat of steely gray on the grill, as does the scaffolding. The guitar gets a nice vibrant blue, and the drum set gets some silver. The initial gray I used for the stage was too blue, so I went over it again with a more neutral one. After adding black and silver details, I painstakingly give the guitar a full set of strings using my thinnest wire, and hold them in place with UV resin. Was this ridiculously extra of me? Absolutely. Trying my damnedest to keep the white clean, I very carefully paint Ralsei's mohawk and horns. His beans get a light pink, and so does his tongue. His entire outfit is black, so any mistakes I make here will be really difficult to fix. It's inevitable that I'll get a couple spots dirty, but overall I think I did a pretty good job keeping him clean. The belt buckle, studs, and skull get some metallics. The mohawk gets a black wash, then a rough brushing with a lighter green. I highlight the edges of his jacket and brush his pants with a little silver paint to give it that extra shiny faux leather look. The skull and microphone get some neon green on the sides. The back of his jacket was looking a little plain, so I turned to the official plush for inspiration. I also quickly put together a pair of cool shades for him to wear. Susie must be a big fan of the Rolling Stones, because it's time to paint her outfit black. Her pants get a dark purple that show up really blue on camera for some reason, but I swear in person, it looks purple. I give her hair an initial layer of magenta. I dot some gold paint around her accessories before giving her hair a wash with purple ink. Her eyes and teeth are a worrying shade of yellow, which just makes me wonder what being a monster dentist would be like. I tidy up her boots, give her visible eye a slit pupil, and add orange highlights to her hair. For the drums, I just need to paint on some little details, and add the large Deltarune to the bass drum. It's Kris's turn in the booth, and I start by going over their boots with some black. Same goes for their pants, and this is where the kind of clay I chose really came in handy. It cures flexible enough that I can push it back without fear of breaking it. My solution for keeping Kris's face hidden was to give their upper face a dark black shadow. And in my unprofessional opinion, I think it worked perfectly. I paint a lighter streak in their fringe and go over their hair with a light blue. It's time to start adding some blue trim to their outfit to really make it pop. For a little added fun, I went over it again with some neon blue. To really up the glam, the coat and pants get a heavy dusting of color-appropriate glitter, and the boots get a thick layer of satin Mod Podge. The finishing touch is some white stripes on their shirt. As I was getting ready to assemble, I noticed the stage looked really plain, so I gave our heroes some stars to stand in, also coated with UV-sensitive paint. With everything dry, it's time for the band to take the stage. Thanks for sticking around till the end, I really appreciate it. Life kept getting in the way and pushing this project back, but it's finally finished, and overall, I'm quite pleased with the final result. I have a pretty good idea of what I want to make next. Hopefully, it won't take quite as long. No promises.